Hi guys, today we are going to learn about the basic structure of the spinal cord. So spinal cord is basically composed of the grey matter as well as the white matter. Now what is grey matter? Grey matter is a collection of cell bodies and white matter is a collection of axons. So grey matter is basically situated inside of the spinal cord in the H-shaped or butterfly shape. As you can see this part, this shaded part is a grey matter. It's in the H shape or the butterfly shape. The white matter is a collection of axon which is situated outside. So this part as well as this is the white matter. Now this side of the spinal cord is the anterior, the posterior or the dorsal side, and this side is the anterior side. Now this part is the sensory root or the dorsal root, and this part is the motor or the ventral root of the spinal cord, because the ventral part or the anterior part of the spinal cord is associated with the motor nerve fibers and the posterior part is associated with the sensory nerve fibers. Now what is the difference between the sensory and the motor? The sensory nerve fibers are the fibers which carry the information from outside or any of the part of the body to the central nervous system. The fibers which carry any information from any part of the body to central nervous system are known as sensory, and the fibers which carry any of the information away from the central nervous system to the effector parts or anywhere is known as the motor. So this one is the sensory, the posterior part or the dorsal part, and anterior or ventral part is the motor, and this part is known as the root, sensory root or the dorsal root, and this part is known as the motor root or the ventral root of the spinal cord. They continue going further and they meet together. The place where they meet together, this common area, is known as the trunk of the spinal cord. Now after this, the trunk divided into two parts, ventral and dorsal. The ventral part is known as the ventral ramus and the dorsal part is known as the dorsal ramus. The dorsal ramus supplies the posterior part of the body wall. The ventral ramus supplies the anterior or the lateral part of the body wall. So the posterior, what is the difference between the posterior, the lateral, the anterior? Anterior is the front part of the body, like your chest wall, all the front part of the body. It is supplied by the ventral or the anterior ramus. Posterior part is the back side of your body, like your back, and lateral part is the outside part of your body, the side part of your body, the side wall. So the side wall and the anterior wall is supplied by the ventral ramus and posterior wall is supplied by the dorsal ramus. Now let's talk about the white matter. White matter is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, these four parts. Now this part and this part are the lateral parts. This is, as I told you, this is a posterior part of the spinal cord, so posterior, and this is anterior. So posterior is known as the posterior column, anterior is known as the anterior column, lateral is known as the lateral column. The posterior part have the two parts in the dorsal column. Anterior also have the two parts in the anterior column, and the lateral part have one on each side. Now if we will see the dorsal root, this is a dorsal root, this part. So dorsal root is purely sensory. Ventral root, as you all know, this is the ventral root or the motor root, so this is purely motor. When they meet together, from here the motor fibers are coming, from here the sensory fibers are coming, so they meet together and they become mixed. Now both the ramus are coming out from the trunk. The trunk is mixed, so therefore both of the ramus are also mixed. Columns. The columns contains the tracts. Tracts are basically the bundle of the spinal cord, bundle of the axon, not spinal cord. Bundle of the axon which goes upside or downside. The bundle of the axon which go from the lower level of the central nervous system to the higher level are known as the ascending tract. And the bundle of axon which goes from the high level of the central nervous system to the low level are known as the descending tract. So dorsal column have only the ascending tract. Anterior column have the ascending and descending tract, and lateral column have the ascending and the descending tracts. I hope you guys understood uh, about the basic structure of the spinal cord. I hope you guys know by watching this video that what is the gray matter, what is white matter, and what are the sensory or the motor root, and what is the trunk of spinal cord, and what is the ventral or the posterior ramus of the spinal cord, and what kind of fibers are there. And I hope you know that what are dorsal columns and what are the different type of columns and what are the ascending and descending tracts from these video. I hope you guys understand, and if you guys have any doubt, you can ask me by commenting on this video. Thank you very much.